Welcome to the series Obscure Fighting Games, the place where I want to talk with you about some of the arcade and consoles fighting games that never achieved the same level of success of the most well-known brands, like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or King of Fighters. It's a shame because some of them were pretty decent, or at least interesting, but for reasons attached with quality standards or poor marketing choices, they never saw the mainstream light and stayed mummified in the past. I hope you enjoy this new episode about the obscure fighting game Golden Axe The Duel. Golden Axe The Duel is a fighting game developed by Sega AM1 Studios and was first released to Sega STV arcade system in Japan in '94. It was later ported to the Sega Saturn system, first to Japan and Europe in '95, then to US in June '96. Unlike other Golden Axe games, Golden Axe The Duel is a 2D versus fighter. It is the third coin-operated installment in the series, following the original Golden Axe and Golden Axe The Revenge of Death Adder. The same development team also work on other fighting games. Holosseum, the fighting game created exclusively for Sega's high-tech hologram theater cabinet, Virtua Fighter Remix, All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua.
Golden Axe.
80 years after Golden Axe The Revenge of Death Adder, the people had forgotten the tragic events of the past and had rebuilt their lives. However, now the terror begins once again. The legendary Golden Axe was rediscovered, and its powers appears to have grown over the years. Now, numerous fighters from across the land are attempting to obtain this artifact, which is said to be able to grant its owner anything his heart desires. After dueling the other characters, the player must face a physical representation of the Golden Axe's powers, a giant golden armor warrior. It is believed to be the spirit of a sacred god dueling inside the artifact. Now, let's talk about the characters. Caneblade, a war orphan raised by a legendary warrior. Seen as a Samaritan by some, a meddler by others, Kane has taken to the wandering the various provinces to help those in need. He seeks the Golden Axe in the hopes to unite the provinces of the continent and end the diabolical plans of his enemies, Zoma and Kill. Kill. His own clan has tried unsuccessfully to get rid of him. The last time by encasing him in ice. He should have perished, but after Dead Adder's revival, Kill disappeared. Kill has always been ambitious, and several elves remember him vowing to one day become the ruler of Crystal. Only now they fear it's possible, especially if he obtains the Golden Axe. Milan Flare, Princess of the Kingdom of Windwood and descendant of Taris Flare. The Kingdom of Windwood is the most scientifically advanced of all the provinces. It is a prized jewel for many would-be leaders, who could use the power of the winds. If Milan wins, the Golden Axe will be used to ensure that Windwood does not fall to foreign invaders. Julius Rockhead. Julius Rockhead is a dwarf that comes from a family of distinguished fighters. His great-grandfather, Julius Thunderhead, is the legendary Axeman who helped slay Death Adder. When news of Death Adder's reappearance reached the town of Gilligan, Julius Rockhead was the first to prepare for the war. The people of his town must not suffer again. Zoma, evil male wizard who has been content to live off of the energies of his prisoners. However, the announcement of the Golden Axe has stirred his lust for power once again. Zoma has stated that he will rule the continent without mercy when he wins. Doc, the man calling himself Doc, resigned from his position at the school and promised to bring the Golden Axe back to the province. Jama, once a baby abandoned by their own family and then founded by the wilderness spirit who names her Jama. Jama has learned a number of fighting styles from the animals and hopes to keep what's left of the provinces for them. She is also a copycat of Sham Sham from Samurai Shodown series. Pancho, Pancho's father, an inventor, taught him from a young age the skills of his trade, but Panchos was unsatisfied with his life and longed for adventure. When he heard that the Golden Axe had resurfaced, he headed off. Finally, life seems to be getting exciting. Green. Deep in the continent's forest lived the race of giants with awesome strength. This half-human, half-plant race was attacked by Death Adder's army, and all but one were killed. The lone survivor is Green, who predicted the return of Death Adder and has been preparing for it for many years. He's also a copycat of Blanca from the Street Fighter series. Death Adder. Death Adder is the main antagonist of the Golden Axe series, having multiple appearances throughout the games, and the fearsome descendant of the evil giants that survived the battle against the gods many years ago. The serpentine Death Adder seeks nothing more than to conquer the world and rule as an emperor. Rumors that he will fight for the Golden Axe are causing panic throughout the lands. If Death Adder gained the Golden Axe, the continent will face an age of horror and despair. Golden Axe. The personification of the eponymous weapon from the Golden Axe series, and final boss of Golden Axe The Duel. Its sprite-based graphics are mightily impressive. Large well-animated cartoony characters, lush backdrops, and plenty of speedlines and blood splashes. One of the highlights of the game is the scaling and the weapons effects, which was a clearly inspiration from Samurai Showdown. It also allowed for transparencies and other effects to be rendered in layers on screen. This graphics engine was superior to the one that Capcom had used in Street Fighter II. The artists at AM1 tried to make the most out of the extensive color palette. They tried to preserve the design aesthetic of the series, based loosely on the fantasy paintings by Frank Frazetta. All of these accompanied by great sound effects and music. Sega hoped that the Golden Axe name would bring fighting audiences around. It worked for the arcades that did have the title. Despite pulling influences from Street Fighter, it was closer to Samurai Shodown games from SNK, in that the characters all fought with swords. The fighters all had unique special attacks, using their specific fictional martial art. The super attacks were the results of using magic vials. While there's no combo counter, the games feature an intuitive or archaic combo system that stays in the line with the classic 2D fighters. Most combos are on the short side, with some that can lead into nasty throws and setups. There are even some lengthier combos that can be performed by specific characters, along with some pretty cheap tactics that can kill an unsuspecting opponent in seconds. If you despise archaic combo mechanics, and if you are looking for a fighting game with a complex and solid combos, I don't recommend it at all. If you are a fan of the Golden Axe beat-em-up games, and an overall fan of sword and magic movies and books, or even one of those hardcore Sega fans who have the curiosity to find out what happened with the story after the two first games, you cannot miss this one. You will love the beautiful middle-aged landscapes, accompanied with theme-based music, which make these games one of the many Sega Saturn exclusive hidden gems.